It was real bad.
How you feel about their draft? What's the dude?
I actually
Tiger
like
Woods.
his.
Yeah,
I like his game.
Hiroshima.
Right. Once he get a more consistent jumper past 15 feet, ain't be a problem because he rebound.
If you the Wizards.
Welcome back to the Huddle. I'm your host, Mike Lay, and we got the trio here. We got Charlie P. What's going on, brother?
How you doing, sir?
Pretty good. We got Neil Tucker. Hey, we got Coach Chuck Henry here. You know, he in the building. So, fellas, let's take a quick moment of silence for Kobe Bean Bryant. Unfortunately, he passed away today in a helicopter accident. All right, and on the heels of that news, it's a very unfortunate. Unfortunately, his daughter was in the helicopter. It's a total of 9 people. So, you had the pilot, one of her teammates, their parent. I'm not sure who else was really in it. Just to reflect on Kobe, man. What's one of the biggest memories you have of Kobe Bryant? Like it's a game, just a moment. Chuck, I start out with you, man. You're a basketball aficionado.
Oh man, most people will probably go 81-point game. I'm gonna go. I think he messed up his shoulder. I think it was his shoulder or his hand on his right hand, and my man had to shoot all lefty. And he scored 37 shooting all left. Like that's my Kobe memory right there.
What about you, Charlie?
Well, it's amazing how Kobe came out in the '96 draft. And you got people like Marbury, Ray Allen came out before him, and a guy by the name of Todd Filler was picked before Kobe. Kobe was picked number 13 by the Hornets, and they let him go. And look at him now. He dropped 60 on his last game, April 13th. Wow.
Okay, you spitting some facts there, Charlie P.
Nah,
I like that notebook.
doing them taxes.
What about you, Neil?
Honestly, mine is more like the All-Star game. The respect that Jordan gave him before he left the game. Like seeing them on the court at the same time, like Mr. Miyagi, you know what I mean? And Jordan actually, he really didn't play with people a lot, but Jordan seemed to take him under his wing and really enjoy Kobe. So seeing that MJ my guy, seeing him kind of pass the torch to Kobe, I think that's my greatest moment. And then probably also another All-Star moment when he went at LeBron and told LeBron bruh, let's get it.
Yeah.
But LeBron ain't want no smoke.
Unfortunately, Brian. For me, was when they won that postseason series against Portland. That was a formidable Portland team, and he was still relatively young then, and he showed me a lot. I was like, oh, this dude might be official because Portland got a mob, and Shaq couldn't do it all by himself.
Right,
What I'm saying? He was getting in foul trouble, was missing free throws, and Kobe, put that cape on and handled business. So that was a pivotal moment where I saw a paradigm shift. Like, oh, he about to be a problem for a while. Because he had an all-around game, and he had a lot more bounce than I realized, and it started showing itself. So that was the moment for me.
You could throw in the USA team too because they came back alive because Kobe jumped on board and then all those stars really
started following
suit. USA team wouldn't be what it is right now without him.
Trailblazers.
These are facts.
So, Coach, since your players, who are their favorite players? Do you ever ask them about those, the NBA?
Yeah, most of my kids, they Bronny guys.
Okay.
They was born in that era. Man, we lucky. Like we saw Jordan. We can go back further. We saw Magic in his career. Then we saw Bird. Then we saw Jordan. We saw Kobe. We saw Iverson. We saw Shaq.
Yeah.
Now we
Isaiah
saw
Thomas.
Bron, and now Man, a lot of guys, man. So we kind of bridge that gap to see a lot of the greatness of the NBA. These kids, they don't even understand right now.
Bill Russell, you saw Bill Russell too.
You was watching the black and
Black
white,
and white,
black and white film.
Turn the channel with the pliers.
Right.
Everybody's signature shoe was Chuck's.
Yep. Shout out to Converse.
Hey, I don't see no denials, Charlie. That was your era.
No.
Remember that? You know? Hey, I mean, tell us about it.
Hey,
No, I'm just messing with
Kobe's gonna be missed. I'm sorry to hear for his loss with his family, his daughter, his mom's pops. It's sad.
Yeah, man. Well, let's move on to a slightly lighter subject. I know I was going to put this last, but we can make it real quick. Super Bowl coming up. What's your picks? Who you feel like is going to win? And just a quick reason why. I'll start with you, Charlie.
I picked Kansas City because Andy Reid has been there before. He took Philadelphia there. He lost, but now he has a mass offense, that they can spread the ball out and go from there. So I got Kansas City.
Okay, Neil.
I hate to agree with my man Charlie, but it's too much offense. Like San Fran has a top 5 defense, hands down. But when it's that big stage and it's time to perform, like you said, Andy Reid has been there. They're well coached. The quarterback can get the job done. He can make just about any pass, and he can make his own play. San Fran, on the other hand, we don't know. Garoppolo is. You don't have a lot of weapons, so their defense has to be offense too.
Okay. What about you, Chuck?
I'm gonna go Kansas City as well. I don't like how San Fran did my man Navarro Bowman. So they should have brought my man back. So I'm gonna go Kansas City too.
As Chris Berman would say, we're all on Kansas City. Because I'm going to choose them too. I mean, San Fran is definitely a formidable team. But, I mean, dude, the things that I've seen out of Kansas City this year, I mean, it's worse than video games, man.
Yeah, they was down by 24 against Houston.
Dude, they score at will. It happens fast. So they almost never out of a game. And that's tough that's a lot of pressure on a team that doesn't necessarily throw the ball a lot in San Fran. They run really well, but I mean, they just stopped Derrick Henry. So it's like, I don't know. I didn't really peg them as being able to do that. And he had 69 yards and 19 carries. So
the piggy of that though, since we all unanimously saying Kansas City.
Mm-hmm.
What does San Fran have to do to beat Kansas City? Because they have 3 backs that's averaging, or right now I want to say all of them have over 700 yards. Mm-hmm. So you said they run well. So if you can control the tempo, they have a chance.
That's what everybody's been trying to do, man. Unfortunately, it hasn't worked. I mean, that's been the game plan: control the tempo, run the football, and nobody's completed that task yet. Mm-hmm. So. And to my surprise, because I never really looked at Kansas City defense that way, but apparently over the last, I would say, like 7 games, the defense actually has propelled to one of the top defenses in the league. It hasn't been that way all season, but they stepped up to the plate.
Okay.
All right. So Coach, look, coach high school basketball. Question we have: if all the students in the area played for their actual high school that's near their home, their zone, what high school would be top dog?
Good question. I think most kids nowadays that play in the WCAC, because we talking about the private school kids coming back home, right?
Everybody.
Most of those kids live in the Bowie, Largo, Upper Marlboro, Capitol Heights area. So I would say Bowie would definitely be great. Then all the Upper Marlboro schools, you got the Wise, Douglas, Gwent Park. They would see influxes of talent. Surrattsville, program we didn't think about, but they'd have a lot of talent. I think we'd probably get a couple kids just because I think it's some guys that live in Capitol Heights that'll probably come to us. So, man, county would look like it did in 1999, 2000. when everybody on the All Met team, or most kids on the All Met team, PG County students, and ultimately at some point I think we'll have an opportunity to get closer to that. I don't know if we're gonna get all the way back to that, but as county coaches, we're trying to do the best we can to keep the guys at home, keep the talent in our neighborhoods, man. But we got to do better as in the school system in and of itself before we can get that to happen.
Okay, you got a job in politics coming soon. You answer a question. We gonna go to Nia. So
Can I ask him a quick question?
Oh, you gonna do your thing. Do your thing.
If you had the opportunity to switch seats with a WCAC coach, which team would you pick?
Oh man, that's tough. All those guys do a great job, man. I don't know that I would switch seats with anybody. I couldn't switch seats with anybody. They couldn't. I don't think they could do my job. I don't know that I can do their job. We got some great coaches over there. Got an opportunity to get to know Steve Turner a lot this summer. His son is a takeover kid, so got a chance to sit with him a lot and kind of pick his brain. So I know how great of a coach he is, and I'm cool with the coach over at St. John's, Pat. Man, Pat does a great job with his kids. So I don't know that I can do their job. At some point, I'll be able to, but those guys have been in it so much longer than I have, man. I got so much respect for them.
So you said St. John's or Gonzaga? That's what I heard.
Well, I got a follow-up question. So if you had a parent come to you and say, Coach, you up and growing coach, but my son, he's going to make it. Pay me some money and I let my son come to your school.
Oh wow!
What would you do?
Man, my bag don't extend that far. I pay my coaches; they get about $600-700. That's it. That's all we got. I'm not built that way, because if I gotta pay you to be here, I'm gonna have to pay to keep you. And I've never been built that way, man. I want kids. First thing, my college coach, my very first college coaching job, he said, man, you only got one job here. He said, recruit kids who want to be here.
Okay.
And so my job, I can't recruit. So now I just got to get kids who want to be at Fairmont Heights, because it's the best opportunity for them. So, man, you can find your bag somewhere else.
Gotcha.
Okay, so same question to you. You got a particular school you think would be the powerhouse? If everybody went to their respective area?
Well, easily it'll be Largo, Bowie, or Wise, because that circle, I'll call it the Wegmans circle. Everybody that shop at Wegmans, they all in that right little pool right there. So
Flowers.
And Flowers.
You, Charlie, you saying it's about the same thing?
I think Douglas would be nice, because Douglas, they don't get much love. Coach Bird, he's doing the best he can do over there. But I think Douglas.
Nobody said friendly. We still terrible. Sorry. Shout out to friendly.
They rebuilding, man. They working on it.
We rebuilding. Hopefully we do a little bit better. So look, we're gonna come back with a few more questions after this. Tune into these commercials and holler at us in a second. And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, look, as you know, the trade deadline is upon us. Relax, take it easy. Trade deadline is upon us in the NBA. Several teams need some pieces. You know, they want to solidify their roles with their spots in the playoffs and hopefully make a run. You know, what are some teams that you feel need a certain piece or you would like to see go grab a particular player? Now you got a lot to say. You know, with the Lakers and possible trade for Derrick Rose, rumored for Zach LaVine. Then go ahead and tell us how you feel about that, man. Is that a good move?
So I think the Zach LaVine trade is fake news. I don't think that's a real thing. I'm not saying I would be against it, but I don't think that's a real thing. And Derrick Rose, I do believe that's a real story that's out there. Right?
Okay.
Do I think we need a more consistent scoring guard? You know, someone in the backcourt, yes. Right. Rondo, as much as I appreciate him and his skills, his basketball IQ, year in and year out, he has regressed a bit. Right. I mean, I think he takes shots at inopportune times. He doesn't play defense, so he's not truly helping us. Now, who am I willing to give away? That's a big question. I like Avery Bradley. I like KCP. I think he's been a bit more consistent this season, maybe not as of late. But it's going to be Kuzma. And that's tough. That's our last young piece. Like, who would have to go? You know, but he doesn't fit the equation of where they are right now. Now, if I have to look into the future and say, okay, I got to think 3 or 4 years down the line when LeBron is gone, that's a different story. But they're trying to win now. He doesn't fit now.
So, not to cut you off,
You did, but
I did. Who do they bring in to win now?
who? So they need more consistent outside shooting, right? Like I wish we would have got a Kyle Korver, you know, in the buyout market early in the season.
You just talked about defense.
Again. I mean, but let me get some sure shooting and scoring. I actually like the Trevor Ariza pickup by the Trailblazers. I think he's somebody who I just need to lock down some of those bigger defenders, right? So who's our biggest competition, right? So you got the Clippers, you got the Bucks, in my personal opinion.
Clippers is not competition. Y'all don't get that. Y'all don't get that done. That's an L.
That's it. Okay.
But go ahead. You're right. I'm sorry.
So the reason it is, in my personal opinion, the reason it is L because who has to check Paul George and Kawhi, right? They put KCP, they put Bradley on them. They're undersized, right? LeBron can't hang in there because he can't. I mean, at this point, to get everything we need out of him on offense, he can't expend that much energy on defense. I can't expect AD to sit out there on the perimeter and check Paul George or Kawhi, right? I need a bigger wing defender,
who is that?
right? So, but it's really Iggy. I mean, it is. I mean, I don't know what we got to do to get him out of the Grizzlies' pocket. We don't got no first round picks for him, so
They say they're not.
You know, so I mean, outside of that, it's not. I mean, we're in a rock and hard place. It's not too much we could do now. Why they want? Not so because we need defense, but we can't get it. They got to get some more consistent scoring punch. I mean, look at Derrick Rose. I mean, he's what 20 plus points in the last 11 games. I mean, that's consistency off our bench. He's used to that bench role right now too, playing it with Detroit, right? If you put that in our bench unit, like that's where we're getting beat up. Our bench units are getting outscored by opposite teams like day in and day out.
I tell you low key who they should really be after, and it's a guy who's been on everybody's radar, Andrew Wiggins. You got to get rid of first of all, you get rid of the real Slim Shady. He's not performing.
I agree.
KCP, give him up. Rondo, give him up. Go after Wiggins.
I'm not mad. I see that. Will he accept that role to come off the bench?
Who? I'm starting.
You starting Wiggins.
Who you sitting? You sitting Danny Green?
Who? No, you put that. You move Danny to the 2.
Danny on the trade block.
He might be.
He
You
with
might
that.
have to get that piece up.
I saw that. I saw the Danny and Kuzma full of beans.
Now, you're definitely going to take a step back somehow. You want to get rid of somebody important to get anybody
for a trade
especially
like that. Especially for that.
Yes, it's not going to be pleasant.
That's a good trade because if you get Wiggins back, you got Wiggins, LeBron.
Does Wiggins play defense?
I think Wiggins is going to be able to play defense well enough, especially with those guys next to him.
I think he can. I just haven't truly seen it.
Yeah.
So is Wiggins a shooter that you need though? So we know LeBron controls
the score.
So here's the thing.
But that's the point.
Nobody else
on the
creates
team?
their own shot. The thing is, AD doesn't even create his own shot.
And why don't they?
He has to be.
Because LeBron babysits the rock.
Yes,
you
does.
can't get in the flow of the game.
Hey everybody.
So who else on the team? So if he just gave it to somebody else, name somebody else on my team who can get their own shot for themselves.
Kuzma.
So here's the thing.
But no, that is true. Now, get their own. Okay, reclassify the question. Get their own good shot.
Well, here's the thing.
No.
Ben.
He has a green light in his mind to take any shot he wants. Right? They're not all good shots. Right?
Who takes great shots on the Lakers? LeBron.
Nobody.
Step back, fadeaway 3-pointer.
I'm not saying his
So
shots are
look,
the best.
as a Heat fan, and I've seen LeBron's effect on the team, it doesn't matter what kind of scorer you bring in. If they're a scorer that's a set shooter, they're a scorer that can create their own shot, it does not matter because they will not have the basketball.
So again, why Derrick Rose fits is
He needs the
now,
basketball.
He's starting now for the Pistons, but for the early part of the season, he was coming off the bench and
Right.
flying. That's the problem we have is when LeBron goes to the bench, which he needs to at times, no one else can create offense. That's the issue. Derrick Rose, he can solve that issue. He can have the ball when LeBron's not in there. Now, how they play together, I mean, it ain't working Cleveland. I'm not saying it's going to work together now, but I need...
Same way they do
Exactly.
with Rondo now. When LeBron comes out, Rondo's generally the one that's going in for him.
But he's not, I mean, I'm not saying he's not setting people up, but I mean, that second unit is having a tough time scoring. Like, they did the whole LeBron goes down, AD stays in, but even still, I mean, you have to create for AD. I have to dump it down to him.
What about for Westbrook?
Russell Westbrook?
Yeah.
I mean, I think his contract is terrible, but I mean,
absolutely terrible.
you're right. I mean, but would it be another? I mean, because it's hard. It's the same situation. Like, how great would he play? I mean, I'm not saying he's playing terrible next to Harden, but sub Harden out, put LeBron in. You both got the ball dominant person. I mean, he sucks it up and does what he has to do now.
Funny that you guys brought up the Rockets. Because earlier you said, would it be a smart move to move Westbrook or move Harden?
Right now, I'm moving them both. I'm rebuilding.
So you just rebuild it.
I'm not mad at it.
Go ahead and get you a bunch of top picks. This year's draft not going to be too well.
I don't know. This draft gonna surprise people, man.
Who?
Because there's some kids that's there that can play, but they're not ready to play right now. You got a James Wiseman who's gonna be ready to play right away. You got Obi Toppin at Dayton who's ready to play.
He a bucket.
He a bucket.
But that draft class, you tell me 7 pros in that draft class that's ready to play right now. We ain't got enough time.
Yeah, we ain't got enough time.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So I'm just saying, if I was to get rid of, because now you get rid of the bank account too.
True. Yeah.
And Harden, as good as he is at dropping the bucket, what have they done in the last 4 years? He's been an MVP, a candidate.
Yeah.
He's been a scoring champ, but they've never gotten out of the first round.
I mean, it's a conundrum. He can't do it by himself, but
He's a
he's
turnover king.
terrible at playing with other people because he's a black hole when it comes. I mean, it's tough. So I mean,
in the playoffs, he creates.
So if you know what
so
you're
many
going to
turnovers
get,
for himself.
and if this is it, and you get in that bag, let's rebuild. That's just my philosophy.
It's time to move
It's
on.
4 years.
It didn't work. I think the Russell Westbrook trade was kind of their last ditch.
Yeah.
All right, this is it. This
And
is
it ain't-
plan Z for us.
so I have a rebuttal question. So I mean, it's something we talked about in one of the first shows. So is it the players, and they should just give up on the players, or should they just give up on D'Antoni's
You
system?
can give up all of
It's
it.
everything. Every
All
bit
of it gotta go.
It's a fire sale.
Foreman Mills.
Everybody gotta go.
Foreman Mills.
We're losing our lease because it is done in there.
Nah, I agree with that. I don't think it's the coaches either. Like, you know what you're going to get from Harden. Now that he's a superstar, you're not going to change. It's just like Melo. No. Melo is a guy that's going to 1-2 pull up, not much defense, but he can score. You can't expect him to come to your team and be a defensive threat. You're not getting
much
that.
better defender this year.
Absolutely, because he needed that bag.
Yeah, he had.
Power season is over.
I do whatever
you
you
know, Look, you better get back in there. Hey.
Yeah, oh, wow. So, any other trades y'all see that should be made, or a piece that a team may or may not need?
Let's talk about your Heat. They're not constructed right now where they're coming out the East. Not currently. What do they need?
They need a wing.
They do need a wing. They would. So the rumor is, I hope they don't trade my man, but this is a bias for me. Possibly move in Justice Winslow.
Is he injured? I mean,
Yeah, he's been injured. He's been injured. They had just gave him a bag. He showed promise, but haven't been able to get him on the court. Now another team may bite.
Is that enough?
And see that. I mean,
I'm feeling like y'all going to give him some young pieces.
they ain't gonna give up down the core. Nah, they gonna give up cool.
Duncan Robinson, the Kendrick.
They not gonna give.
Y'all should have just signed Crawford.
Yeah,
I'm like,
that is good.
Why
That
hasn't
is-
nobody signed him yet?
I don't know why nobody signed him. They gotta find somebody, a veteran that
Is
can
he
come
done?
in, give him a bucket.
Get you buckets,
But the numbers ain't adding up, man.
Maybe.
People probably offering, they numbers just ain't.
Yeah, I don't know, but they need another scorer to come in. So great example. Friday night they played the Clippers, and even though they're a gritty team, that kept them in the game. But when it was needed, they didn't have somebody to go just continually get them a bucket because Jimmy Butler had messed up his ankle or something like that. He was out the game. So they fought through it. They made a comeback, got close to tying it, so it could go to overtime. But it was a struggle to really continue to get those buckets. And so at that time, Crawford would have been nice. It alleviates, some of that stress and continues to open the floor where they can move the ball and work effectively.
Well, I heard some rumors about Drew Holiday.
I mean, so if they go get Drew Holiday, then the writing's on the wall to get rid of Dragic and that contract. That's what that say to me.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been great. The strategy they've used for him has actually worked this season. He's been coming off the bench like a Ginobili, still giving you 20-25, and that second unit has been killing. So the way that it's worked is just does Drew Holiday just come in, just be a younger piece, because he's a little bit younger than Dragic. Younger piece. I don't know what his paycheck look like, so it might not make sense there.
Here go a question for
Nah, I don't want
y'all.
Kuzma,
Let's talk about trusting the process.
Mm-hmm.
76ers, that's their slogan, right? From Markel, they didn't trust that process, and now my man is probably the most
Bing.
improved player, maybe, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's in that
He's
run.
in the conversation, yeah.
Is it time to break that team up? Like, let's talk about teams on the bubble.
It's close.
You got the Blazers. You got Houston. I'm putting 76ers in there. And low-key Utah.
Yeah, Knicks always in there.
Yeah, Knicks. What are we doing first of all? Knicks, but that's a whole different.
Utah.
But the teams that's on the bubble that should be getting over the hump.
Well, Utah's tough, right? I mean, they're not. This is the first year with those big free agent signings. Conley, Bogdanovich.
Conley's not working.
I mean, given he's coming back from injury, you got to see. I mean, it's that first year, right? I mean, so
Utah's
that's
what, 2 or 3 right now?
Yeah, 2 or 3 right now. Yeah.
They always get in the top 5, and we talking about teams that are getting
They
there.
get great coaching.
Right. And they just, even with John Stockton them alone, granted, they was in the area with my guy,
Yeah.
but they never can get over. You talking about the bubble team.
I think that's a way to be seen, right? I think that's the early one to call now. 76ers though, that's a different question, right?
Who you keeping them?
Yeah, because
76ers, I'd say.
they've seen this before. I mean, Al Horford's the only real big new piece you got, honestly. I mean,
Bad signing.
Yeah,
I don't see them.
I didn't understand that when you already had a post player, you just crowded your roster for no reason. I personally say
the whole 76ers.
let it go. Let it go. Because my thing is, what's your identity? They don't know it. Some nights they shooting.
I think losing
Some
Redick
nights
hurt.
they in the paint.
Yeah.
That was major.
I think losing Redick hurt.
That was major.
I'm gonna tell you what hurt
And
them
Covington.
more.
Jimmy, let Jimmy go.
Silva
Yeah,
hurt
really?
them.
Yeah.
Yes, I told
Man,
somebody
people
that a couple weeks
underestimate
ago.
the loss of Ursan Ilyasova, man. He
Facts.
was knocked down
He
shooting
was
for
clutch
that
too.
team.
They
Hey,
had 2 clutch.
I've been using Ilyasova
Man,
on
what happened
2K
with
for
Jimmy?
He
years.
didn't want to be there. He was
Jimmy
honest.
didn't wanna be there?
He was honest
Nah.
about that.
He
Like,
said- he
he
said
was like,
nobody-
he's like,
Yeah, tried to make it work the first couple months. After
He was
that,
like, man, they ain't got that fire. That's why he love the Heat. Them young boys.
Yeah.
And they
that
call him
dog.
out
Yeah,
with
they
it.
that
Like
dog.
he love it. He like, man, everybody honest.
Yep.
They hungry. If I ain't doing something right, what you
Do
doing,
you like
Jimmy?
would you prefer when you was playing, would you like a Jimmy Butler or would you like somebody that's kind of going to stroke your ego?
I need it.
Like on the team, iron versus iron. Like
I need a Jimmy Butler.
need
I
a
mean,
Jimmy Butler.
I grew up playing with Kurt Smith and Brian Chase and Jeff Allen and Dwayne, Dirk Payne, and
DP.
that was my mob. You know what I mean? Those are my guys, and we talking about 5 passionate dudes about basketball, and we. You know what I'm saying? In terms of like on the court, everybody yelling at each other. Like, but I'd rather be with a group like that than this new generation of kid who, man, they just, everybody passive. Nobody wants to be the alpha male. Like, I'd rather play with dudes like that I know is gonna go to war with me and really gonna give me their greatest effort, as opposed to kids rolling their shorts up.
Okay, so since you are the coach on the show, I want to say this. If you could take a team, any team in the NBA that we're talking about that's on the bubble, which team would you take and how would you fix them? So we're talking Heat, 76ers, Timberwolves, Houston. Which one would you take and how would you fix them?
I like the Heat. Just because their organization is tighter than everybody else you just named.
That's real.
Utah's good, and they got a good foundation, but they'll never get over the hump because of the market, for one, the types of players that they can take, because you can't take everybody in that market. You're not going to take a guy all tatted up and, rough and tumble sort of guy. You're not going to take them kind of thug-type dudes in that area, in that market. I go with Miami, man, because you got Pat at the top, and then you got Spoelstra, who's a coach who's done it before. He was able to get guys to come there and play. Great market, Miami, climate, South Beach. They got the makings to be able to do it a lot quicker than everybody else. And then the East is down, so Miami is easy.
Respect.
So I do have another team that probably should make a trade, and that's the Celtics.
Got on low Hayward, right?
Definitely do. And
They need a rim protector.
I was just about to say they are light in the paint.
Light.
They are light in the paint.
Name the center. Yeah, right.
Yeah, exactly.
Norman Mills.
they are light in the paint. So Hayward, I mean, that's a big paycheck to
That's easy. That's easy.
to have somebody decide to take.
Yeah, you want to attach somebody to him.
But who is the Mutombo for them? Who?
I like Andre Drummond.
I don't. I do not.
Because then he changes the dynamic of your team. It's not a ball movement team anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what big men is it going to change that dynamic?
I mean, when they
I
have
mean, there's a lot of bigs that won't change that dynamic. They're jockeying for position in terms of the draft anyway. Mm-hmm. They still got a stockpile of draft picks.
a ton.
And they're looking to try to move up. Everybody wants to get in the James Wiseman sweepstakes. Because for real, he's the only kid, between he and Toppin, they're the only two that's really ready to play right out the gate next year.
Yeah, I think
everybody likes Cole Anthony, and everybody likes Ball, but really those two dudes are projects.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because, I mean, no one likes to play with Cole Anthony. I'm a diehard Tar Heel fan. I haven't turned on but 2 games all year long.
He got an ACL tear now, right?
Man.
Yeah.
He had a jumper tear before he got hurt. So,
okay.
So you said he's going to stop their ball movement. I mean, I get that.
He's more of a traditional.
He is, and that was the question you were talking about earlier, right? I mean, so would you rather have the traditional, or are we going back? They need that stretch 5 to keep that.
That's what they've been playing with.
Yeah, I mean, and this canter, the thighs and stuff like that. I mean, but when you
can't play old school ball in a new school age.
But so when they match up against the 76ers, then what do you do? Right? Because when he's healthy and if he's healthy and is out there, he's going to abuse in his canter. Right? I mean, if you don't have that's what their jock.
But you also need a player that can go out at perimeter and defend him shooting at 3 too.
Facts.
So it's you got to pick your poison.
Yeah, who else?
Right, exactly. So I'm just saying, what they need to do is move Hayward. Don't know if it's going to happen, but it's a move that needs to be take place. That's all I'm saying. So, real quick topic on Jason Garrett. We Cowboys fans. He got a new job already as the OC and with the Giants. And Freddie Kitchens, that was the head coach of the Browns. He got hired by them too. I think he's going to be a quarterback coach or something like that. So. Just that quick turnaround. Well, number one, do you think that's a good hire at all for either one of them? And 2,
yes.
You think it was a good hire?
I think it's a great hire for the Giants. I don't like that he got a job that fast, but in conference play, I'll make this prediction right here. The Giants will win the division next year.
Just because of all the inside track.
That's wings on it.
But they've been every other year, every couple of years, every 3.
They do.
That's the way their history's been. It's been so many ebbs and flows with the Giants. So I'm with you.
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't like it, but I wouldn't be surprised.
I would. I mean, you got to do more than play offense in the NFL. I mean, they have to remake literally their entire defense.
They do.
Oh, look at what's the Super Bowl. We just said offense.
But they're
they-
not.
they playing defense.
Now they not high power offense.
Yeah,
like
they're not.
Kansas City,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. I'm not expecting Daniel Jones to come in second year and be Patrick Mahomes, which
So-
you almost compared him to. But
I did.
It was quick. It was very quick.
But look, tell me this: what's a fair standard for them? If they win the division, is that a win for them?
That's a win.
That's a win for them.
That's right.
That's a major win.
I mean, because if they was to win a division, they've had some stability throughout the year, which they didn't have last year. Pretty much all the wide receivers were hurt. You know what I'm saying? So they have some young guys that's coming along. Once that chemistry gets built with Daniel Jones, and then with the running,
They got the best back in the league.
Yeah, but if I'm him, I'm not happy.
yeah.
If I'm him, I'm not happy because we
ain't
about
look
to
at it
kinda,
like
we
that.
about to run a West Coast offense.
Right, and that's less running,
Yep,
more screens.
more quick passing, 3-step drop, bam,
So,
out.
yeah, so I mean, we'll see. Jason Garrett doesn't usually run a West Coast offense, so that'll be interesting to see how.
And no pistol,
Yeah,
which is the new thing in the
yeah,
league. Move guys around because when you're in a pistol, it's really hard to know where that ball is coming out of.
It's not that I think he's a bad offensive coordinator. I mean, this is one thing I can appreciate about Mike McCarthy. He took a year off, unless he lied to me. We'll see it in a few months. He took a year off to reevaluate himself, his system, and what's the trends of the NFL right now. I think Jason Garrett needed that, right? And another thing I believe, like you think they'll win the division by, I don't know if you're saying by that higher, because I would challenge to say, was it Jason Garrett that helped us win the division, or was it the talent of the Cowboys that helped? I think it's our talent that helped, not his coaching.
Well, so you got to. So I'm gonna go this route. I think it's a good
got a
high.
good argument
I think
for
it's a
it.
good high. He's like another North Turner, man. He's not good for head coaching. It's just what it is. He's offensive coordinator. I think he has the mind for it. He doesn't need to step away, in my opinion, because he wasn't the one calling the plays anyway. He was busy being an overarching coach. You know what I'm saying? So, yes, he was in the mix and saw what's going on. And, it wasn't like Mike McCarthy where he was the coach 15, 17 odd years and, running the same offense that whole time. There's been some variations to the offense since Jason Garrett had been there. We are not the same offense we had.
That's right. But I think in crunch time, he had a big part in things that were called and what we did. And in my personal opinion, he failed time and time again of making those decisions.
I'm gonna tell you.
Did he really though? So let's go look back at why Dallas didn't get over the hump, because they was in every game.
True.
Just about every game, right?
So I'm not gonna take all the execution flaws away from the players, right? I think he said Dak had the most drop passes.
Facts.
It was, I think 43. So I'm not taking that away, right? But there were also some miscues in coaching, and I can't take that away from him.
So penalties too. Let's go back and look at y'all penalties. That was
Penalties
one of
took
the
away
top
first downs. It continued drives for other
So it's
teams.
easy to blame the coach, and we had this argument before. They have all the talent.
And you have to understand, remember when we were moving the offense flawlessly with the offensive line? There's a difference in then and now.
Yeah.
Bill Callahan was our offensive line coach.
True.
We had Mark Colombo playing offensive lineman. Ron Leary, big piece that we lost. That offensive line only has 3 dudes that's been around consistently playing the same position. Tyron Smith, Frederick, and Martin. That's it.
Lyle Collins been there for a bit.
He
Hey,
only
man,
been
look, we
there a
don't
couple
care about
years.
Dallas. Y'all don't get no special attention.
I'm just telling you the difference.
Out in the darkness over
There's a lot of reasons. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, Bill Callahan kept the Redskins line together considering
I give him credit.
they had a lot of injuries, a lot less talent than they should have had. That goes to show the kind of coaching that he provided while he was with us.
Get another dude who shouldn't be your head coach.
You're absolutely right. He is a positions coach for real. It's a lot of people that are just good coordinators and good position coaches. Jason Garrett falls in that category, so I think it's a good half of that.
Let's get to the real question, right?
Uh-oh.
Well, why aren't African American coaches afforded the same opportunities? And this is subjective, right? In your opinion.
For me, I don't know. It's not right. You have some really good coaches that are out there. And if a team doesn't do well and they're just on the chopping block due to the fact that the head coach got fired, they definitely should have another opportunity. Because the proof is in the pudding. There's some good coaches out there. I don't know why. It's the good old boy network that's still in place. It's hard to beat that, to be honest. Wow. Yeah. So yeah, you.
Yeah. I would just say it's ownership. We don't own anything. That's the bottom line. You make the rules if you own it. And just like if we had a company, we was a network, and it was some other people that was a different color than us that was should be on the network, but our sons and kids or our own could come up and do it too. They're not gonna get that opportunity. So to me, it boils down to ownership. I'm not half the talent in the league, let's say more than half, probably 70, 80% is African Americans, right? Most of the prime players that we want to see are African Americans.
Including a lot of quarterbacks.
Now all the top playoff played quarterbacks this year were all black, the most of them. Kansas City, the Ravens, Texans, CC husband. So CC husband. Shout out to Russ, but they all black, right?
Yeah.
But there's no ownership. So we got the talent. You want us on your team as players, but if we get control of that ownership, that's a different ball game.
Nah, that's real.
You don't control the narrative no more.
Okay. So anyone give a shout out to anybody since we up here talking good sports? You want to shout out anybody?
Man, I want to shout out WCAC, DCIAA, PG County, everybody that's been supporting the Huddle from day one since we've been in the basement. My man Chuck, he was one of the first ones on the show. So I just want to say thank you to everybody that tunes in and supports us, even on the middle school level.
Okay, well said. With that being said, make sure you subscribe to this channel, THTV Network, and click the bell so you can get notifications of when we going live and when we have new content being uploaded to this page. Hey, thanks for tuning in to us. Hey, and let's huddle up.